Alright guys, guess who's back? It's the Metro Atlanta Ham with more fun. And here's the reason why I'm selling my TX-500. Don't worry about this. Omar D2 has gone over to the dark side. He no longer goes by Omar D2. His new name is Darth Omar. You know what, Omar? I think the people got an update of your lifestyle changes, but now it's time to have some fun and talk about more important matters. The new important matter is the TX-500. Is the XIEGU or the XIEGU X6100 the TX-500 killer? I don't know. Guys, a lot of times we talk about premium radio. We talk about the TX-500. We talk about the FT891. We talk about the IC705. All of these radios are part of an environment of guys who we believe that we have to do Icon, we have to do Kenwood, and we can only do Yaesu. I used to be one of those guys. As a matter of fact, I'm consistently one of those guys. I was never the type of person that wanted to do a Chinese radio until I got my hands on this XIEGU radio. This radio is outstanding. And in comparison to the TX-500, which I ran out and bought, as soon as I found out it was available, I bought it for $1,100. Right now, Radiality has the XIEGU X6100 at about $579 with an external speaker. But why? What makes this radio make me want to sell my premium TX-500 QRP radio? What makes me want to do it? Well, let's take a look. Let's look at comparison. One thing that I have to consider is, look at the TX-500. I got wires, I have an external battery. This is terrible. I hate all of the wires. I hate the speaker mic, I hate this connection, and luckily I'm running basically a telescopic whip, or I would have more wires here. But now let's go over to the XIEGU X6100. I have one cable. I have the antenna connected, but that's it. And you know what? I'm on an internal battery. I'm running 5 watts on WinLink right now, and right now I'm doing SSB over here on the TX-500. But let's go. Comparison number 2. The TX-500 is dependent upon the battery, but also look at all of the data, the cat, all of these extra wires that we're not using. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pull those extra wires out. Let's see how uncomfortable this can be. So here are my DigiRig wires. That's your TX-500. Look at that gaggle of wires. I hate it. And here's the deal. I don't mean to get so personal about it, but I really just don't like that amount of wires. But when I look at the XIEGU X6100, I'm running one cable over to my tablet. That is it. Cat and data. Okay, so what's another feature that we have? We talked about the battery, we talked about the cable, but let's look at this. Let's look at this thing on SWR meter. Right here, I can scan my antenna to see where my antenna is. And right now, that tactical delta loop is it's tuned up right now, but I'm running a 1-to-1 on 30 meters at this time. But I can back out of it. Is there an SWR meter on this device other than the onboard SWR meter? That's not cool. Another cool thing that I like about this device is the onboard modem. The XIEGU X6100 has a modem for BPSK, onboard decoding for RIDI, and onboard CW decode. Oh my God. I mean, feature rich, feature rich, feature rich. I don't have this type of decoding. I tell you what, with the latest firmware update, I can't say that the TX-500 does have a CW decode. But let's look at another thing. Look at the waterfall. Look at this beautiful waterfall. Oh my goodness. I mean, we can tune around. We can get out of this WinLink session, and let's see if we can go to SSB. Let's go up to the next band. Oh, 160 meters. Oh, run a little digital. But here we are. Look at the waterfall. Now, we come here to the TX-500. This is all we're going to get. That's all we're going to get. The list goes on, guys. Let's look at another feature, the automatic tuner. And this is one thing that I say about the XIEGU X6100 when it comes to new hams who want to get into SOTA, how all they need is just this radio and let's say a spark plug antenna. This radio and a random wire. This radio doesn't need a tuner because it has a built-in tuner. And this tuner can pretty much tune a gutter or chain link fence if necessary. With my TX-500, I don't have a tuner. So it's almost double the price, no tuner. If I got a new ham, he doesn't have money for a battery, he doesn't have money for a fancy antenna, he doesn't have money for a fancy tuner, he can come and grab the XIEGU 6100 with damn near random wire, any small, inexpensive homebrew antenna, and go and get busy. I mean, man, does it get any better than that? Let's talk about another thing I like about this radio. So say we go into single sideband. Let's pick another band called CQ. So right now we're in upper sideband digital, but we'll go up into lower sideband. We're just going to lower sideband. Turn up the volume. Let's run a test. So we got these guys right here on 7.725, but let's find a frequency.
My name is Doug. I do have a nice coffee here.
I'm just gonna pick a random frequency. And guess what, guys? I got a PTT right here. CQ, so CQ, this is Kilo 4, Kilo Hotel Oscar, calling any station. CQ, this is Kilo 4, Kilo Hotel Oscar, calling any station, requesting a signal report. That's the onboard PTT button that I like to use sometimes when I'm using the XIEGU 6100, like an HFHT. Man, I am so in love with this radio. It is ridiculous. Words can't describe how happy I am with this product. And if I was a new ham and I was operating on a budget, this would be the radio that would be for me. I mean, the TX-500 just doesn't compare. So in closing, guys, we're not going to make this video super long. We're going to get to the meat and bones of it. The XIEGU 6100 is by far right now one of the most fun radios that's in my pack. It's the radio that I'm going to be taking on SOTA from here on out. It's the radio that if you're a new ham, I recommend you get it. That's been my experience. It does 60 meters, it does 10 meters. It does all modes of operation. It does CW, it decodes, it's a Linux machine, it gets firmware updates. This radio is the ultimate QRP radio for somebody who wants a feature-rich. I can just keep saying feature-rich because I'm so excited about this radio. And one of the big, awesome things I love about it, I mentioned it earlier, is one of the first things that I mentioned, I don't have to fight with configuring aftermarket sound cards. Those aftermarket sound cards can be very, very difficult. The learning curve for them, the configuration on them can really turn somebody off for digital modes. Now, I can tell you, with the XIEGU 6100 and my Microsoft Surface Go, WinLink has been a go. WSJTX has been a go. VAR AC has been a go. FL Digi has been a go. PSK31 has been a go. Every digital mode that I've desired to do with this radio, it's done it with one cable. I'm not great at CW. I've decoded with this radio. I've done SSB all the way into Sao Paulo on 10 meters on this radio. It is my radio. And as a result of this radio, this $579 on sale radio, typically about 600 plus, I'm selling my TX-500. To me, right now, this is the ultimate TX-500 killer. Because at the end of the day, if we're operating in the rain and we need to use a radio with that much waterproofing, then we might not even be operating, you know. And so those are some of the arguments that I posed about this radio in comparison, but to me, the two just don't compare. You know, guys, right here we go. Beauty is her name. It sits right in your hand. It does all the work. It tunes, waterfall. What more can you ask for, guys? See if we can tune in some frequencies and hear that speaker. And I don't even think I'm running the preamp right now. Let's see if I got it on. And that's with the preamp, you know what I mean? Now, look how pretty this is. Look how this fits in my hand. Look how this disconnects. Look how it does the work. And when you look over here, look at this. What are we doing with this? This is just too much, guys. I can't handle it. I no longer desire to go on QRP with that type of setup. So, this is the Metro Atlanta ham. EB and I, we were out having some fun. We were filming some stuff, and I wanted to get a new video out talking about how excited I was about this radio. So, guys, keep communicating, keep training, keep developing. And this is the Metro Atlanta ham, and I bid you all 73. You guys have a great time. See you guys later. Catch you down the line.